Hi everyone, welcome to another video in this series where we will be building an agent from scratch. So before we decide on the architecture or write any line of code, we need to first understand why do we even need to build an agent. I mean, in our previous video we saw that from Olama we downloaded an LLM model and it was able to answer questions. So do we really need to build plumbing on top of an LLM or create an agent? So in order to understand that, let me ask a question to our existing LLM. I already did it. So I asked this Quinn model, what is weather of Paris? And normally if you would ask this question, you would expect that the LLM would give you the live temperature. For example, if I ask the same question in Google, I got the response that it's 22 degrees Celsius. But here it just tries to guess the answer based on its old training data, and I think these are not relevant or something that you would expect from your LLM to do. So agent solves that problem. So it not only has an LLM, but it also has capability to use tools. And then in some cases, when you ask a complex question, a single tool call would not be sufficient enough to answer your queries. So you need kind of a loop where LLM can call tools multiple times and gradually come to a conclusion. So that's what an agent is. And this is the high level flow. When a user asks a question to the LLM, it already has access to a bunch of tools. And then from those tools, LLM can think and decide which tools are relevant and it would call that tool. So in our case, if I ask a question that what's the temperature of Paris, it would call a weather API with the correct parameters, like the code would be for Paris, and then it would give back the response to the LLM, and then LLM would try to decrypt that message because normally the tool call would be giving the response in a JSON format, and then it will try to decrypt it and give an answer in a human readable format, maybe a sentence or something. And in some cases, the question could be complex where it would need to make multiple callouts and then give an answer back. So that's what we will be building in the next few videos. And just to understand it further from a different example, let's take an example of booking a dinner table. So if a human would be given a task to book a dinner table, what would be the actual flow or steps that he would perform? So the first thing they would do is decide which cuisine they would like to have for the dinner, and then based on those cuisine they would search on Google for restaurants which serve those cuisine and have a good reviews, plus also call the booking site. And then if the slots are full, they would maybe try a different restaurant. So that's the overall flow they would follow, and this is something similar we want our agents to also do. So it would be reasoning and acting. So it would first reason and try to act on it. Based on the response from that action, it would again reason on it. So yeah, that's the agent. In the next video we'll be talking a bit about what's an open and closed model and which one should be you be using for your use case. That's all. Thank you.